Hey, it's Amy from The Bobby Bone Show. It's time for the Love What Matters podcast. It's actually the second one. So if you're new, there's another one you can check out from last week. And if you're joining us again, well, thanks for coming back. Week 2, we got some great stories. Positive. It's always positive here. Love What Matters podcast. No negativity. Don't even bring that in here. Today, we've got a story about the power of kindness. Another story that's going to inspire you to find beauty in the little things that you may not like about yourself. I'm also going to share with you a story that will remind us that we never know like the weight or the baggage that someone else is carrying any given day. And we've got an interview with a mom. She was just trying to find something special for her daughter with autism. And the response from around the world, no less, has been overwhelming. It's pretty cool. Lots of feel-good stories coming up for you. Thanks to ISALON. It's the only way to get at-home hair color that is perfect for you. Like, it's customized, legit for you. ISALON offers professional-grade, completely personalized hair color, and it's delivered right to your door. So if your color's fading or you got gray hairs popping up, ISALON has you covered. ISALON.com.
Yeah, don't you want to spread a little love in the world today?
We're going to start today with a story about the power of kindness. This one is amazing. It was actually submitted by an employee at an independent bookstore who witnessed this entire thing go down. So it was a touching moment between customers. She described one of the customers, an elderly woman, lovably kooky. She entered the store. A kid carrying all of his textbooks for college also came in the store. Then they ended up in line with each other. He was actually right behind her in line. And out of nowhere, she turned around and asked him to put his books on the counter, all of his textbooks. And hello, if you've ever had to buy textbooks, it's the worst. That's what you end up. I mean, you think you're in college, you're ready to go to school, and then you go to buy textbooks, and it's crazy expensive. She explained to him that she wanted to pay for all of his books. Obviously, he insisted, "What? I don't know you. You can't do that. These books cost at least $400. The tiny elderly woman, as she was described again, then took the books out of his hands. She threw them on the counter and told the checkout girl to put them on her bill. As the checkout girl bagged up the books, the two strangers hugged. As the kid and the checkout girl were both telling the woman how amazing she is, the elderly woman stopped to say, "It's important to be kind. You can't know all the times that you've hurt people in tiny, significant ways. It's easy to be cruel without meaning to be. There's nothing you can do about that. But you can choose to be kind. So be kind." Which I love that little quote. The kid then thanked her again and left. The elderly lady was watching him walk away and said to the clerk, "You know, my son is a homeless meth addict. I see that boy and I see the man that my son could have been if someone had chosen to be kind to him at just the right time." Pretty much have goosebumps right now, even as I'm reading that. Kindness has the power to transform lives. So be kind to someone today. Okay, well, yeah. See, told you that story, power of kindness. It's also a lesson about kindness. So basically now we all need to go be kind.
Yeah, don't you want to spread a little love in the world today?
This next story is about finding beauty. When I read it, I was like, okay, yeah, I need to be doing this myself. I need to find the little things I don't like about myself, and I need to recognize that they are beautiful. The story went crazy on the Love What Matters Facebook page. People were loving it. So Brandolyn May Porter was painting the nails of a senior living resident when the woman noted that she'd like the polish to just be clear. The resident explained, "My hands are ugly. I don't want to draw any attention to them." Brandolyn thoughtfully responded with, "Your hands tell the story of your life. They tell the story of love, of care, and adventure. These hands have touched and held things that most people can only wish to one day." With that, the resident asked for her nails to be painted pink, and then they came out beautifully. Brandolyn noted that sometimes what we are so insecure with, others find beauty in. I definitely saw this, and mine also has to do with my hands. So I have this like age spot. It's really started to pop up the last few years. And if I'm out in the sun, it pops up even more on my hand. And I don't like it at all. But what I realized when I read this story is my mom had the exact same age spot in the exact same spot on her hand. And I lost my mom probably about 2 years ago. So it's one of those things where reading this story made me look at my little age spot on my hand and be like, you know what? I love this age spot because now it's like a perfect little reminder that I came from my mom, and now I'll see it and just think of her. So maybe take this story and maybe my little story and recognize something about yourself that you just don't like and find the beauty in it.
Yeah, don't you want to spread a little love in the world today?
Okay, so how do you know a hair color is absolutely perfect for you? Well, you got to check out ISALON, where they offer professional grade, completely personalized hair color created just for you and is delivered right to your door. So with ISALON, this is pretty cool. You just fill out a questionnaire, then you upload your photo, and your personal colorist is going to formulate your color from over 15,000 pigments. Your unique ISALON color then gets delivered to your door with your name on the bottle, sort of special, and instructions on how to get the hair the way you want it. If you've got questions, the color experts at ISALON, they're just a call away. Seriously, it couldn't be any easier. I mean, maybe you've got a colorist you love to go to, but you could use ISALON for your in-betweens, or you could save money by doing it at home. Visit ISALON.com/love now. New customers are going to receive 50% off their first box. That's just $10 for your personalized hair color. Get 50% off your first box at ISALON.com/love right now. That's ISALON.com/love. Okay, so before we get to the interview with the mom that had something really cool happen, I mean, lots of really cool things actually, for her daughter with autism, we're going to first talk about a teacher that did something pretty awesome with her class. And it's something that students definitely need to hear about, kids need to hear about, but hello, as adults, you're going to love this one. So there's a teacher that has a bag hanging by the door as you walk into her room. This bag contains everything her students carry to school. All the problems, the bad things in life, the things that, may distract the kids or sadden them or make them angry. And something this teacher has found in common with every student conversation about something upsetting them is that the student believes that he or she is the only one who has the problem. I think we can always feel that way sometimes. The only one with a hard life, the only one with family problems or whatever else it may be. So one day, she and all of her students anonymously wrote down on a piece of paper what was heavy on their hearts. Then they crumbled up the paper and they threw them in a bag and she mixed them all up. And then she had the students come up and draw something out of the bag and just read it aloud. She couldn't believe some of the things that these kids have to deal with at home, and neither could the peers sitting there listening to everything. It resulted in a lot of tears, a lot of hugs, and a lot of, I had no idea so many people had hard things to deal with too. So the message of the project is obviously that you never know the weight or the baggage that people are carrying. And it's pretty important that we remember that when we interact with others. And she also did this because she wanted the students to know that they're not alone and that they had a whole classroom full of people that could relate to them and support them. The teacher keeps the bag by the door so the kids remember the extra baggage that others may have with them that day every time they walk in and out. So, perfect reminder. Because sometimes, honestly, I encounter people, or maybe someone encounters me, that's just acting really just not nice. And I have to extend grace. I don't always, but I like to remember. And this story is the perfect reminder of being like, you know what? They may be acting that way because they have a lot of baggage. They have some stuff going on. They got issues at home. They got a lot of problems. They have a heavy heart that day. So this is just one of those little refreshers. And I love the way the teacher did this. So if you happen to be a teacher, this may be something pretty cool that you could do with your class.
Yeah, don't you want to spread a little love in the world today?
Okay, and we're going to enter into our last story of the day, and I'm super excited because we actually have Deborah Skousen on the phone. And Deborah, if you haven't seen the story, she's the mother of Cammie, a little girl with autism, and Cammie is in love. I'm telling you, in love with a very specific pink flower shirt. The shirt, I guess, was purchased back in 2011, right, Deborah?
Yes.
Cammie's had 5 of them, though they're, I guess, worn out now and they continue to wear. So that's when you, Deborah, you went to Facebook and you asked your friends to help find more of these priceless shirts, right?
Right. So she got the original one, like you said, about 5 years ago. I had purchased it for her to wear when she started kindergarten. And she actually wore it on the first day of kindergarten, which, of course, I took a lot of pictures of, to document this momentous day in her life. She loved looking at those pictures later, and I think that's when the fixation on the shirt began because she associated it with this big day in her life. And so she started wearing the shirt more and more and more. And, yeah, of course it got worn out. We were able to find replacements on eBay for the first little while, and so it wasn't a big deal until over the last year or so. It's been difficult to find.
And so then you go to Facebook and you're thinking, at the time that you posted, are you thinking like, okay, maybe 3 or 4 of my friends may come together and help me find a shirt?
Yeah, that my thought was, if I posted this to my friends and family and they shared it, maybe a friend of a friend would have this shirt, packed away somewhere, and they'll say, sure, yeah, we're not using it anymore. Let me give it to you. We were hoping for, like 4 or 5 shirts.
So, and that's when Love What Matters picked up the post, and our amazing community rallied together, got involved, shared it all over the place, and all over the place, like 13,000 times, no big deal. And what has happened since that?
Since it went viral, I guess is how you'd call it, I've been receiving messages from, first it was all over the United States, and now it's gone worldwide.
Wow.
Either saying, yeah, I have that shirt, what's your address, let me send it to you, or I don't have the shirt, but I want to do something for Cammie. So, yeah, I've had offers for people to make blankets and doll clothes and teddy bears and curtains and pillows.
What count are you at now? Because the last I read, you were at like 75 or something.
Yeah, that has increased quite a bit. So right now we're at about, I think it's 182.
What?
Yeah.
182 shirts.
Yes. I just received 4 more offers yesterday. I thought for sure we had every single pink flower shirt that there was in existence, but we got 4 more offers yesterday, so we're up to 182.
And it's probably safe to say that the offers are going to keep rolling in, and these are from complete strangers, right?
Absolutely, yeah. None of the shirts that we have received offers for were from people that we knew personally.
I have goosebumps. Like, does that, it sort of just restores faith in humanity of like, wow, people that don't even know us. They know we're kind of in a bind here. We're looking for this shirt. And the shirts are just flooding in. You just said 182, right?
Yes.
And then sweet little people are offering to sew you things. Like, I know when my husband wants to get rid of some of his T-shirts that he can't wear anymore, he has a really hard time letting go. He's very sentimental. Like, I'm talking high school stuff. I try to tell him, honey, we got to let this go. You need to just part ways. But then someone told me about making a T-shirt blanket. So that's what I did with all of his extra T-shirts. And it was the best idea ever. So I'm just throwing that out there as like a tip since it's sort of related. But that's something similar. Like, if y'all ever run out of these shirts, which it sounds like you never will, at least she can have keepsakes from it, like the blankets and the teddy bears and other things.
Yes, she will. Her entire bedroom is going to be decked out in pink flowers. It's going to be. She'll love it. She'll absolutely love it.
I'm just so impressed with how our community and everybody on the internet, I guess we'll call them, everybody around the world. You said this went outside of the United States. It's now international. I'm just impressed with how everybody has responded. And is there anything you'd like to say to anybody out there that has sent you stuff? And literally, are you just giving them your home address and they're mailing it?
Yeah. We get about, over the past 4 or 5 days, we get at least 10 packages a day. Our mailman must hate us.
I was about to ask, what's your mailman thinking?
But I want to say thank you. The love and the kindness being shown to my daughter has been overwhelming, and it's been a beautiful thing. I get so many messages from moms who say, my daughter has this shirt, but she knows that your daughter needs it more, and so we're going to send it to you. Things like that just bring a tear to your eye and just make you feel so loved and so cared for.
And even hearing that parents are saying, my daughter loves this shirt, but she knows your daughter needs it more. Those are the moments where, they're being raised by good parents, for one. And then for two, sometimes I think we could learn a lot from kids.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We've received several little notes, with the shirts as they've arrived that were written by kids that just say, "Dear Cammie, I hope you like this shirt. I have things like that." And I just bawl every time I read one of them.
What a special thing that has happened from one little post that you put on Facebook. Thank you for sharing your story with us, Deborah. And you'll have to tell Cammie that we said hi. And thank you to the Love What Matters community for rallying together and always showing people what it's really about.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, don't you want to spread a little love in the world today?